Hi, welcome to Surviving Motherhood. So I have a little, well, it's not really a dilemma. I just kind of feel funny about this situation, and well, it isn't the first time, so I'm just going to ask you if you've ever been in the same place. Have you ever sort of felt bad because you don't feel really bad for something bad that somebody's going through? And what kind of seems like you should? Am I making any sense? See, the deal is I have a dear friend who is in a really bad situation. She had an accident and really messed up her leg, and now she can't work because she really can't even move. And she just has found out that because she can't go to work, she's being forced to resign from that position, which means at the end of the month she will be out of medical insurance. And you know that is a bad situation. It's frustrating. It's hard for her, and I get that. But when I was ready to say to her, I am so sorry you're going through this, well, it's like the Spirit of God said to me, you know what? Maybe this bad situation, the situation that looks bad, maybe it isn't going to end up being bad. Maybe I'm at work in this. And I know that He's done that. I know He can take bad situations that look bad to us, and I know He can make them good. In fact, I know He can make them great. And so part of me is actually pretty excited for my friend, even though the situation really stinks right now. Part of me is really excited because I believe God will do a really good thing through this. So I said to her, she had posted something on Facebook about it, and I said, well, I'm sorry to hear that, Sorta. I want to read some verses to you from Psalm 66 and talk about this a little bit further. Maybe I can convince you why I really don't feel so bad for her. Psalm 66, starting in verse 8, says this: Praise our God, O peoples. Let the sound of His praise be heard. He has preserved our lives and kept our feet from slipping. Excuse me. Sounds like a pretty good thing, doesn't it? In verse 10, he says, For you, O God, tested us. You refined us like silver. And then we get the explanation. You brought us into prison and laid burdens on our backs. You let men ride over our heads. We went through fire and water. And that sounds like a really bad thing, doesn't it? But he finishes it by saying this: But you brought us to a place of abundance. The writer of this psalm experienced really bad things. I don't know if men were literally riding over their heads, but whatever it was that was happening, it sounds awful. Yet he begins this section by saying, praise God. He has preserved our lives. He's kept our feet from slipping. It's been great. No, it hasn't been great. They went through fire and water. They went through a really hard time. But God brought them to a place of abundance. He brought them to an amazing thing, something they would have never imagined going through before, something they would have not imagined could have been theirs. And so I have to think for my friend, maybe for you too, this circumstance she's going through, the injury to her leg, the losing of her job, the forced losing of her job, the hardship she's going to face, the hardship she's facing right now. I can only imagine what a beautiful and amazing thing God will do through this. And I wonder if maybe you're facing a similar situation. Whatever the hardship is, whatever the bad thing you've got going on in your life, can you say to God, I trust you and I believe you're going to work for good in this? Those of you who have read Confessions of an Irritable Mother or who've heard me speak about it, you know my affinity for Psalm 66, verse 10. For you, O God, tested us. You refined us like silver. When we go through testing, it isn't a bad thing. It hurts, but God is making us beautiful. I pray that's an encouragement to you today, right in the midst of your mess. May you have a wonderful, Jesus-full day.